What is a day of remembrance across the country, the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, the flags at half-staff at Carroll Stadium. We will celebrate our ability to be together as one tonight for Indy 11 soccer as they play host to Sporting Kansas City 2. Both teams currently outside of the playoff picture in terms of the Central Division. Sporting Kansas City 2 got their first victory last Saturday since July 10th. For the Indy 11, last two times they have played, they have not come up with a point. And that is our starting point for tonight's broadcast. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you here on My Indy TV and ESPN+. There cannot be any more delays in terms of trying to build some momentum for the Indy 11. Once again, the time has to be now.
Yeah, you're at that point in the season. You're at home. You have to have 3 points tonight.
With that, the Indy 11 did not get a point against Atlanta United 2 here on this stadium 7 days ago. Then on the road in Tulsa 3 nights ago, it looked like a point could be theirs. It did not happen, and let's show you how we got to that point. One goal down early in the match, quickly leveled by Manuel Arteaga, his 7th of the season. Tied 1-1 at halftime. Brad, the better chances in half number 2 belong to Indy 11.
Right, and you just missed a couple of ones that you needed. But great response to come back from being a goal down and get it even, and then really unfortunate way for this to end.
With those missed chances, it left the door open, and then a dubious penalty call against Carl Lambeck.
Yeah, and you said it, the missed chances, because you can't put yourself in a position for a bad call or a bad bounce late in the game. You got to take care of things early.
Dario Suarez connects from the penalty spot. Indy falls by a score of 2-1. That penalty coming in minute number 89. Now here is news that compounds that problem from Wednesday night. No Patrick Seegers, no A.J. Cochran. Our injury update brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, which means a lot of these guys for the Indy 11 you'll see in the starting lineup will have gone the distance the last 2 times out. Have to go again 90 more minutes this evening.
Yeah, it's a phrase in the Marines. Man down, man up. Next guy's got to step in and get the job done.
Starting lineups when we return to Carroll Stadium, Indy 11 and Sporting Kansas City 2. Thanks for joining us on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. And by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Let's get right to our starting lineups. They are presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Again, you'd like to have some squad rotation going Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday because of injuries and some other issues. That luxury not afforded to Max Rogers right now. Only change in the starting 11 from Wednesday night, Gordon Wild in. Trust me, we'll see Nick Moon in the second half at some point in time, given the effort Nick gives every match, just trying to save some legs after he's put in the work all season long and especially earlier this week.
The silver lining here without a large rotation in bodies is the consistency that you can build on the field.
The other note is Carl Ouimet gets his 96th start in an Indy 11 uniform tonight. He is now the club's all-time leader in that number, surpassing Brad Ring. For Sporting Kansas City, too, they will trot out the exact same 11 that got them a victory last week against Oklahoma City. Kendall McIntosh is in goal for Sporting Kansas City, too. The majority of their goalkeeper minutes this year have come from players like himself that are on loan from the Major League Soccer side. It is a blend of MLS roster players, USL Championship players, and academy players we'll see tonight for Sporting Kansas City, too.
And I'll tell you, I like Duke and Davis, the way they get up and down on the wings, and Musha Galusa has been on an absolute tear this season.
Well, we thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Last week, a much smaller crowd because of the weather conditions. Along with that, it was still bigger than Belson. A much larger crowd is on hand tonight. Told you the bingo card right off the start of the match. Fourth and final get-together of these two teams this season, and potentially the last get-together between these two teams. This is the 10th time they have faced one another. over the last 3 seasons, having played the Standard twice in 2019 because of being in the same group. They played 4 times last year. All of those matches were at Lucas Oil Stadium, and the teams split those contests 2-2. Again, potentially Sporting Kansas City, too, could be fielding a reserve team in Major League Soccer next year and not competing in the USL Championship. This has been a good battle over the last 3 years, and we hope it gets sent off with another one tonight. All-time Indy, 6 wins, 2 losses, and a draw against their rivals from about 7 hours that direction on I-70. We touched on this in the opening of the broadcast, Brad, but knowing that, again, you've got a lot of miles on these legs already for these Indy 11 players since last Saturday. How does that affect what Max Rogers wants to do tonight?
I think it changes the pace that you want to play at. You know, you don't send your bodies forward with great intensity unless it's a better than average chance. And you got to keep the ball too. There's so much more energy that you spend defending. You keep the ball, it's a little bit easier for you to manage minutes and energy that way.
Chances have not been a problem for Indy against Sporting Kansas City 2 this year. They have scored 5 goals in the previous 3 get-togethers, and frankly left a couple more, maybe even more than that, on the table in the maddening 1-1 draw they played against SKC2 just 3 weeks ago on August the 22nd. Reese Buckmaster able to track it down. He and his academy, college, and now professional teammate Jeremiah Gutjahr, both in the starting 11 for Indy tonight. Gordon Wild trying to distribute. That ball blocked by Sporting Kansas City 2. And they found the back of the net 3 times against Oklahoma City last Saturday night. Their first victory since July 10th. Their first win in 10 matches.
And such an important result for the 11, as you know, they're in that battle with OKC and a couple other teams for that final playoff spot.
Time now for our keys. This match presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Complicate the game, my friend. Yes. Please explain.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you got a veteran team against a younger team, the more complicated you can make the decisions that they have to make, the more difficult the shifts are, the better it's going to be for you. The other part is results and excuses. Results or excuses. You can't have both. And right now, Indy 11 has got every possible excuse possible. The Arteaga goal, non-goal against Memphis, the deflection and the goal, the penalty kick the other night. This is the competition business, and you need results. You got to put those excuses away and play. For Sporting Kansas City, too, press early. You saw them come out, and they were high pressing with their forwards, chasing down a couple balls back to Jordan Farr. That's not only going to be because of Indy's legs, but the last result on Tulsa was a demoralizing one. If they can nick one early and put them in a bit more fragile place mentally, this game could fall their way. And then the transition game is going to be key for Sporting Kansas City, too. Whenever a team needs 3 points, and Indy 11 needs 3 points today, you have to send more bodies forward. When you send bodies forward, you're more vulnerable in transition. If Sporting Kansas City, too, can get out quick on the break, they can cause some problems.
Reese Buckmaster deemed to have played that ball with just enough of his arm to draw the whistle from the night's match referee. Click the back line. Allianz Jankic, one of the 2 center backs for Sporting Kansas City 2, has the ball at his feet as we speak. Plays it over to Graham Smith, who last played on this field 5 years ago when he played at Denver University. On that night, the DU Pioneers got a 1-0 victory over the IUPUI Jaguars. That Denver team was on its way to the College Cup semifinals.
Do you remember what time the goal was scored?
I don't remember exactly what minute it was scored in, but I remember this, that Denver won that match 1-0, which was a bit surprising given the fact they were 10-0-2 at the time, and IUPUI was on their way to a 2-15 campaign. That enough detail for you, sir?
No, because it wasn't. I wanted the exact minutes, and I just expect better from you, Rake, I guess.
I'll go back and look things up on the internet as best I can. Opportunity here. Gutjahr with the sliding tackle. Taking that ball away from Jameel Roberts, who is one of the newer faces on this Sporting Kansas City 2 roster. Speaking of the College Cup, He won the national championship with Marshall this spring down in Cary, North Carolina. Signed with Sporting Kansas City 2 on July the 1st. Buckmaster's pressure nets a takeaway for Indy. But Wild couldn't make the turn. LaFleur out of there with it to Enoch Mushigalusa. And the pressure, though, pays off for Indy, and Wild is fouled. And set piece time coming up here for the Indy 11.
Such a great move. Those two repossessions that you get on the edge of your attacking third, you got to do more with it. And this is a great move by Gordon Wild to earn a free kick for Indy 11. He has been so dangerous on these.
Wild does have a goal this season against Sporting Kansas City 2. Came back in the victory on Father's Day in Max Rogers' first game as the interim head coach of this team. One-man wall in Mushigalusa. Lots of options to choose from here for Gordon Wild. And McIntosh dealing with the Brickyard Battalion right behind him. Wild sends it in. Sporting Kansas City 2 got to head to it first. Gutyar on the crash. Wild, great job to keep that ball in play. But eventually Mushigalusa creates a little bit of space for Sporting Kansas City 2. Kofi goes the turf and late whistle, but got the whistle he was hoping to have. By the way, tonight's match presented in part by our friends at Select. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Obviously, Wild really can't go directly at goal here.
That's two tough ones. That's so uncharacteristic. But you got to do better in those moments.
And Wild came off the bench in the game on Wednesday. He's a little more rested than several other members of the Indy 11 squad. Hackshaw plays ahead to Wimet. Law. Kofi a blast. Heads up about 5 rows up into BYB. Obviously, the Indy 11 had some guys inverted because of the set piece. Not often are we saying Hackshaw to Wimet at the edge of the 18.
You look at that, and Hackshaw looks up with the ball, and Wimet's his target forward.
We reference his 96 start with the Indy 11. His 99th appearance in total. So potentially next Saturday against New City, Carl Met could be the 3rd member of the Century Club for the Indy 11. Ball played across, and really no spot of bother, and player coming up a bit lame for Sporting Kansas City 2 after that service. Cisneros and Mushigalusa were the 2 players that were closest to it. It's Roberts that's the player that is limping a bit after sending that ball inside of the 18. Arteaga wins the battle. 4 behind the ball for Sporting Kansas City 2. Petr Kuic won the foot race in front of Nicky Law. Ioze forces a giveaway. Gutyar to Kofi to Buckmaster. Buckmaster a blast, and McIntosh the sprawling save. Buckmaster not far away from his first Indy 11 goal. Mushigalusa cannot keep it in front of the byline. Corner coming for Indy in minute number 10.
And I'll tell you, this all came off of the gamble by Arteaga, reading that ball would hold up on the bounce. Great ball from Coffey in. Buckmaster probably needed to keep that ball on the ground to make it a more difficult opportunity for McIntosh.
McIntosh was in net when Sporting Kansas City 2 lost here on May 22nd, 2-0. Fantastic save by McIntosh. 27 years of age, the man in goal. Ball sent in edge of the 6. Blast by Nicky Law. Oh my goodness. Too much traffic in front for Sporting Kansas City 2. Then the volley from Timmer. Not what he had hoped for, but Indy creating early chances in this match.
Right, just too many bodies in there, but you got to just strike that ball and hope.
Third service from the corner flag, or a similar spot. Law looking for his 3rd goal of the season. He too had a goal in a victory against Sporting Kansas City 2 earlier this year.
What a great strike, though. Just get it on the short hop and be able to keep it down.
It's like he's played professionally for 16 years.
I think the kid's got a future.
Or potentially, played in the Premier League, as a teenager, basically.
Keep an eye on him. I think he's got a future.
For 500 professional matches in England and Scotland before venturing to North America this spring, Timmer wins the duel. Arteaga knocks it forward for Wild. LaFleur, good shoulder, but Wild maintains possession. Davis deflects it away for SKC2. But Indy certainly on the front foot early, except for there, because Reese Buckmaster is on the top of the foot of the Sporting Kansas City 2 player. That's the captain and Christian Duke. Duke, the veteran. He is 11th in the history of the USL Championship in terms of career appearances, 195 at this level.
Smokes.
He has spent parts of the last 9 seasons playing in this league. Good look at Max Rogers on the sideline, the interim head coach of the Indy 11. Phil Presser, Andy Swift amongst those others in your screen. Mushagalusa the target. Timmer sweeps it away. Duke wins the battle over Buckmaster to get back to it. Now Duke. Mushagalusa, team high 7 goals this season. Kuich and Davis with the interplay. Kofi got a boot to it. Throw-in coming for LaFleur here in minute number 12.
What a clever little ball from Mushagalusa. It was like a side back heel.
Of course, this match brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered. The Sporting Kansas City 2 team more than likely will miss the playoffs for a 3rd consecutive season. In their first 2 years when they were badged as Swope Park Rangers, they were the league runners-up in both 2016 and 2017. But it has been tougher for them to find success since making the move to the Eastern Conference. See Paulo Nagamura, their longtime head coach, of course, a Major League Soccer veteran of many years. Native of Brazil, who spent his time as a youth playing in the Arsenal system. Cisneros providing pressure. Ouimet and Timmer. It won't be a corner, but it will be a throw-in coming.
Tell you, great
here for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Yeah, great composure by Farr under pressure to twice find an out straight down the middle, splitting the defenders and finding Ouimet's feet. It's just the pressure from Sporting Kansas City 2 was so strong, it just kept coming in waves. Finally, Indy just said, look, let's just knock it out of bounds, reset ourselves, and allow a couple guys to come back.
Against these 2 teams, all of them are going to play high press. Every single one of them. Kofi with the read, opportunity here. Arteaga couldn't distribute that ball to Law. Well done by Jake Davis.
Yeah, great recovery by Davis. And Indy is getting so many repossessions right here in the middle third. They just got to make something more out of them.
How about that ball by Kofi? Buckmaster squares it up, sends it across. Defender sweeps it. Wild blasted. That hit the defender. That never got to McIntosh. That was Smith. That ball deflected off of. Second quarter of the match coming up for the Indy 11.
Tell you what, that's 2 great balls from Coffey right into Buckmaster's space for him to be able to attack. Look at this. You're going to fight through this and then get up and find the ball into Buckmaster.
Kofi, the veteran of 7 seasons in Major League Soccer. Played for both the Vancouver Whitecaps and England Revolution. Wild sends it in, edge of the 6. Just lifted outside of the 18 by Sporting Kansas City 2, and Timmer will let that ball go across the touchline for an Indy 11 throw. Iose is not far behind Carl Ouimet in terms of that chase for 100 appearances in an Indy 11 uniform. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Ouimet applying the pressure, and it will be a corner coming. This match brought to us by Keystone Construction, proud partner of the Indy 11. Keystone Construction, it's more than construction. We build a vision.
He gets forward mostly on restarts, but he always makes something happen. Carl Ouimet has a knack when he gets up in and around the box.
by Jeremiah. Didn't have an angle to shoot. Blasted away, left foot. That hit Arteaga in an offside position. Goalkeeper's got it. Will play on. You like the chances here from Indy early. And we met playing that center back role defensively. These last two matches, the first he has missed all season. Wild, couple of touches. Got enough of a bump from Graham Smith. And another set piece coming for the Indy 11 here in minute number 16.
That's a great find. I think it was Ouimet that saw that little pocket that Gordon Wild was running into and just delivered him a great ball.
Close enough to go for goal here as Wild setting up a teammate again.
You know, you're right on the edge of it. If it's me in this situation, we've had 2 restarts. I've had 2 serves that are a little bit off. I may not be trusting myself with a shot, but I don't know where you can put it. You just maybe lift it up over that back line and see if you can get Hackshaw or Timber to run onto it.
McIntosh has been awfully active. He's had to be here in these first 17 minutes.
But Wild's cheeky. If he sees it, I think he's, and I think he's got a look here on this near post.
Wild gives it a go, but directly at McIntosh. Two clubs battling over the Atlantic Division's final playoff spot take center stage when the USL and ESPN continues. The Charlotte Independents travel north to Dillon Stadium to take on Hartford Athletic Thursday, September 30th, 8 o'clock. That's on ESPN Deportes. Charlotte Independents now with Christian Fuchs, of course, Premier League champion with Leicester City, on loan for the remainder of this season before he joins the Charlotte FC expansion squad next year in Major League Soccer. Cisneros trying to find Christian Duke. And Roberts was his next target. Build-up was there, never a final touch for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Good find.
Ioze trying to slide that ball through to Nicky Law. By the way, tonight is Ioze's 92nd appearance in an Indy 11 uniform. He is now tied for 4th in the history of the club in appearances with Dylan Maris.
So that's a great connection between Law and Ioze too. I mean, took a look at this in the corner. Nicky Law gets a ball, gives it to Ioze, just blasts it at him. It's about knee height. Ioze comes down with it, and they have a couple combinations.
It's about 70 years of soccer brain connecting between those two. Io in his 9th year playing in North America. 5 with the New York Cosmos, 4th in an Indy 11 uniform. Smith a little room to breathe here for Sporting Kansas City 2. Fans, wherever you go, take the boys in blue with you. Download the Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. Max Rogers able to give a little instructions in terms of where to press and who it needs to be. LaFleur trying to attack down the left side.
Well done.
Plays it across Cisneros with the leave and just knocked away at the last moment. Sporting Kansas City 2 asking for a penalty. They will not get it. They will get a corner kick. And really, Jordan Farr hadn't had to do much so far in this match. Wasn't called upon there, but a nervous moment in front of goal for the Indy 11.
Oh, that was great build-up and an amazing recovery run by Ioze to get there just in time. Because if he doesn't poke it away, you're point blank on Jordan Farr.
A nudge, but not enough to draw a whistle from our match referee. Davis on the corner. Ouimet got there first. Caden Pierre did not play it properly. He'll go all the way back to McIntosh at the edge of the 18. By the way, this match presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Buckmaster couldn't keep his feet. Cisneros distributes to Roberts down the left side. Roberts sends it across. Hackshaw got in the way, but it will be a corner coming for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Yeah, tough turnover, good transition by Sporting Kansas City 2, and great read by Hackshaw to step in the channel between him and I think it was Mushagalusa back post.
Enoch Mushagalusa, 7 goals this season for SKC2 in his second year with this 2 team. Once again, it's Davis. The Michigan native sends it in. Goes all the way through, and Kuich was the closest player to it for the team in a lighter shade of blue. Goal kick coming for Jordan Fogg.
That's tough. You've had 2 corner kicks, and you've got guys brought to the front side, maybe looking at a possible short corner, which even if you don't play it is great because you pull some defenders out from Indy 11. But then both of the balls are just lifted back post. They're not dangerous.
Tonight's match presented in part by Bet Rivers, the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11 bet, with a winner. Throw in coming for Indy. Gordon Wild looking to take it quickly. Go, Indy, go, says the Brickyard Battalion. And they were tremendous in the less than ideal weather conditions a week ago. A picturesque evening. Temperature's supposed to get awfully warm tomorrow, but lovely gentle breeze right now. Giveaway by Sporting Kansas City 2. Wild gives it a blast, and for a second shot in a row, directs it right at the SKC badge on the upper left shoulder of Kendall McIntosh.
That's tough. You got a repossession right at the top of the box. You got 2 guys on your wings. Sporting Kansas City 2 is trying to transition defensively. They're not in great shape, and you hit a shot from 25 yards out.
Long distance ball for Roberts, and Timmer had read perfectly. Arteaga, Buckmaster getting involved. Wild going back post. Law ahead towards the edge of the 6. Buckmaster, great tackle by LaFleur, but it is a corner again. It has been a march the corner flag for each of these 2 teams tonight. 3rd one coming here for Indy.
Yeah, tough. You know, the decisions around the box I'm not thrilled with tonight. I think this had to be a one-time ball bent in just behind the back line.
This is Ioze heading that direction. Wild taking the last couple. This was the responsibility of Io for many, many years.
You got a 2v1 with Ioze and Wild. I'd take that. We're going to Bet Rivers and put something on that.
Io sends it in. Ball headed, but up and over the bar. It was Hackshaw that got to it.
Maybe it's the wind or something down on the field, because we've not had a good restart by either team.
McIntosh taking his time on the restart here. Young man that played his college soccer at Santa Clara. Just remind your fans, you can tune into Soccer Saturday every Saturday morning on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Today we were joined by interim head coach Max Rogers, an American soccer legend, and Brad Hodder. All were guests on the program today. An American soccer legend will be the pride of Fort Wayne, DeMarcus Beasley. Go back and listen anytime at 1075thefan.com.
What I think you're going to find from this week's Soccer Saturday is a lot of comments coming in into mailbags saying, hey, we need more goat and chicken conversation. This was fascinating.
No doubt. Roberts. That's a nothing ball there for Sporting Kansas City 2. Well, congratulations to my broadcast partner. He is the men's soccer coach at DePaul University. His Tigers off to a 4-0 start, playing in tomorrow afternoon against Olivet out of Michigan at 2:30. Best of luck, Coach.
Thanks, pal. 4 games in 7 days. This is going to be a tough stretch for us.
Sports this match brought to us by Keystone Construction. It's more than construction. We build a vision. Oh my goodness, there's camera time for us. Wild, the only player in front of that ball, nodded forward, but ball sent behind him. Cisneros got a boot from Kofi and draws the foul. Cisneros is 17 years of age. Signed an MLS homegrown deal with Sporting Kansas City back in January. Was one of the 3 goal scorers last week for SKC2. Young man is from Omaha, Nebraska. It's a common theme when you play these two teams, this teenager, that teenager.
And it's great that they're homegrown.
Well, for years, Omaha has produced talent for Kansas City. But that's in AAA baseball normally. The Omaha Royals, the Kansas City Royals. Now they go by the Omaha Storm Chasers. Davis sends this one in. Far. I will add something to that kind of win theory you were saying, because that thing almost kind of got over his head.
I liked how aggressive he came out, and then as you start seeing him reach for the ball, you're like, uh-oh.
Ayoze with the lengthy run. Wild distributes to Kofi. Kofi gives it another go. Well, we have been critical at times of the Indy 11's reluctance to shoot. It has not been a problem tonight. They've been airing it out from long distance since this match kicked off.
Yeah, and I'd love to see a little bit more combination in the top of the box, looking for maybe a higher percentage opportunity.
Ardiaga trying to carve out some space, and what a beautiful back heel. Nicky Law, Gordon Wild.
Oh, what a hit.
Sends it wide of the target. Carl Ouimet, by the way, is down behind the play, and let's hope he is all right, because there is not much behind him because of the injured A.J. Cochran.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that's so great about Gordon Wild is his ability to turn his hips going in any direction and being able to strike a solid shot.
Our referee, by the way, as you're watching this replay here, replay has put his hand up toward the 11 bench, saying no need for Misha Kinsey to come make a visit. Ouimet will be able to soldier on. 3rd most appearances in the history of the Indy 11. He's 2 away from tying Don Smart at 2nd at 101. Brad Ring, the all-time leader, at 115. By the way, J.J. Belinsky, our match referee tonight, Matthew Rodman, Ethan Bugie, our assistant referees, and Youssef El Masusi is our 4th official tonight.
Okay, you had your Omaha Storm Royals, Kansas City Chasers.
Omaha Storm Chasers.
Trivia. I got
used
trivia
to be the
for
Omaha
you.
Royals.
I got trivia for you that connects Indiana and Kansas City. Here's
like Interstate 70?
Here's your trivia question.
Yes, sir.
All right. Grew up in Indianapolis, played football, went on to play football at Ball State. Was a sports writer in Kansas City for a little bit. That is
my friend Jason Whitlock, a member of the Indiana Sports Writers and Sportscasters Hall of Fame.
Okay, you're 1 for 1 on trivia
Pride
today.
Of Warren
Nicely
Central
done.
High School. Played with my buddy Lance Scheib, and a gentleman other people have heard of before by the name of Jeff George, former #1 draft pick of the Colts in 1990.
I'm just looking for the name, not life history and stuff like that.
LaFleur. This match is somewhat settled in after being dominated by the Indy 11 the first 15 minutes. Chances have leveled out since that time.
And a lot of Indy's opportunities have come off of repossessions right here on the edge of their attacking in middle third.
Ouimet deemed to have been a bit too aggressive, playing through a player about 12 years his junior in Cisneros. Mushagalusa. Arteaga with a win. Finds Kofi. Got a 3v3 here. Kofi plays it just a tick behind Nicky Law, but Iose provides support. Looking back post, Arteaga could not get there in time, but will keep the attack going.
Yeah, a few options for Arteaga on that. He was just trying to draw the defender in enough to maybe earn a corner kick.
Kofi to Law. Looking for Kofi. Jankic does just enough to blow up that play. Indy saying, hey, that should not have been played with the hands of McIntosh, but officials said, nope, there was a deflection there. There is enough that allowed him to go out and get it. I love the press that we're seeing from the Indy 11. Again, my only question is, knowing this is your third match in 8 days, how much can you keep that up?
Well, I think the season dictates that answer, because you're at a place where you got to get 3 points. So you have to keep this press on, and you know, if you've got guys that are a little bit banged up and guys that their tank is almost on empty, you just got to ask for more from them at this point.
Sporting Kansas City 2 has not played since winning last Saturday against OKC. Indy is off until next Saturday after this one. They will see Lou City come to town for the first time this season. Lou City will be back in October. Of the divisional opponents, this is the first one that Indy is playing for a last time. Iose is fouled. Restart coming from the far sideline in minute number 33.
Yeah, both sides are getting the whistles. I think it's a well-officiated game. The only thing is the whistles go into the mouth a little bit late, and everybody's getting a bit agitated because they know, hey, that's a foul.
Law and Wild have taken most of these set-piece opportunities this year. Iose hovering in that general direction. Get a good look at the line of attackers on the edge of the 18 for Indy. It'll be Law that will steer this one in. Hackshaw could not get to it, wasn't far away from it. Kofi, a settling touch for Indy. And Wild draws the attention of 3 SKC2 players. Gives this one a go! It just misses by inches. Arteaga looking for an angle. Hackshaw couldn't get it through Davis.
What a strike. Had it set up, utilizing the defender as a bit of a screen.
Miscommunication between Gutjahr and Iose. Here's the counter opportunity for Sporting Kansas City 2. It's Mushagalusa down the right side. Left foot, never got through. Now Buckmaster sprinting over to it. But Cisneros wins that foot race. Well, you and I from our pitch side angle had the perfect view of that ball bending. And again, that was the crossbar that kept that one out from Gordon Wild. Mushagalusa has been all over the field for Sporting Kansas City too. The lead for Duke. Duke couldn't find Cisneros. This match, clearly in terms of the score, but in the tenor of how it has been played, could not be more even at this point. A few more dangerous chances for Indy, but both teams creating opportunities. Here in minute number 35. LaFleur. The blast, and Farr had that angle covered the entire time. Gordon Wild again would have been one of the better goals of the season for Indy. Didn't miss it by much.
No, and it's awesome. He's got the defender set up just to give a little screen of McIntosh to get him a step late. But even if he's on time, that's such a well-struck ball. If it's just a centimeter down, it's 1-0 Indy.
2 goals for Gordon, a team-high 4 assists for the native of Germany. Played his college soccer primarily at the University of Maryland. And that's going to be a foul against Graham Smith. Did just enough to tug Artie out of the Carroll Stadium turf. So as Indy gets organized here, I'll tell you this about our commitment as part of the USL Championship as well as the Indy 11, and that is being committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Through the Forever Proud project, the USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Wild given the prompt to restart. Looking back, posted. Wow. My goodness. That was off the head of a defender. That was off of Jankic. Wow. And McIntosh had to make a save from his own teammate. Roberts.
That's great confidence he's got in his keeper to head it back to him like that, huh?
Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Well, again, all but 2 of the matches that have been played this year for Sporting Kansas City 2 have featured an MLS caliber goalkeeper, a player on an MLS contract. McIntosh, now this is his 10th match of the year, 9 for Pulskamp, 4 for Brooks Thompson, the native of Southern Indiana that we saw a lot of last year. Only Gavin Kronecki with 2 matches played is the only goalkeeper that is on a Sporting Kansas City 2 contract that hasn't appeared in a match for this 2 team this year.
Heck of reaction by McIntosh. I mean, you got Hackshaw coming in, so you think there's a chance it's coming on goal.
And Timmer is given the foul for the push, and dangerous spot here. It's Roberts that earned it. This match has become a bit whistle happy, which was the opposite of how the match was going on Wednesday until that penalty was given in the dying moments down in Tulsa. And this was about the last time these 2 teams got together, about when Sporting Kansas City 2 found the back of the net. That one coming from Wilson Harris. Not in uniform tonight.
Boy, he's been a thorn in the side of Indy 11. I think every game that we've had that he's been on, that we've called, he's scored.
He had 20 the last 2 years combined, was named the Young Player of the Year in the USL Championship last year on a Major League Soccer contract now. Has made a handful of appearances for the 2 team this year. Davis and Cisneros. It's Davis, didn't get through. Wild got there first. And then Gutjahr will direct this one somewhere towards the White River.
That's the old reset ball.
Community Health Sports Medicine, proud partner of the Indy 11. Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care, simply delivered. And I thought it was a wise play from the son of a collegiate professor and Jeremiah Gutjahr. I'm not sure elbow patches were included on that play, but it was wisely done. This could be a bit of a problem with that turf bounce. McIntosh handles it well.
Yeah, if that was over with the Indy Indians, that would be called a can of corn. But here with Indy 11, thanks to Bobby Edwards' strong tweet game, that's a can of beans.
Well played. We'll explain that story for those not in the know. Roberts. And that'll be a foul against Duke. Duke and Kofi, a couple of veterans getting tied up there, and let's hope that Gershon Kofi is okay. Gershon, native of Ghana, also has Canadian citizenship as well from his days in Vancouver. Spent the last 3 years playing either in Israel or Kuwait before returning North America this offseason.
Tough player. I like that as a pickup. He and Gutjahr are grinders in the middle.
Just turned 30 years of age. Kuwich with the distribution for Musha Galusa. Hackshaw there to meet him. Back to safety of Jordan Farr. A final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of half number 1. Presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Nicky Law tried to walk the tightrope, couldn't do it, took that ball across the touch line.
You mentioned how Musha Galusa is pretty fluid. He's playing in any spot up top, coming back for the ball. I like the mindset of saying, hey, I'm going to go against Hackshaw all game, but I think he's going to find some more opportunities if he drifts into different pockets.
Yeah, if you could move around the field and kind of pick your battle. I'm not sure I'm going against the guy that's been first and second team in the league the last couple of years.
100% agree.
And of course has made numerous international appearances playing for Trinidad and Tobago, who of course unfortunately for TNT will not factor into the World Cup qualifying this cycle. Law at the edge of the 18, looking for Arteaga, and Buckmaster had a tap in and couldn't get the steps right.
Wow.
He had a heck of a hit on goal earlier. This one,
what a ball.
A Happy Gilmore just tap it in moment.
A ball from Nicky Law. And you like those opportunities that give two players a chance.
And Buckmaster has figured more into the attack tonight than we have seen in previous games. He has spent time both as a midfielder and a defender this year, and especially as a defender when we mentioned Neville Hackshaw missing time due to the Gold Cup and international duty. That's when kind of Reese was reinserted in the lineup back in July. Gutyar, a last touch of that one before it went across the sideline for a Sporting Kansas City 2 throw-in. I don't think we're looking at much in terms of stoppage time at the end of this half. It's been a pretty fluid opening 45 minutes this juncture. If you're Max Rogers, what you need to see change from the Indy 11 perspective?
Execution, in and around the box, execution.
Arteaga, there's Law. Now Wild will get into the mix. Gordon playing a little further back. He'll get back towards the front of the attack for Indy. And creating chances has not been a problem for the Indy 11 tonight. And has simply been finishing those chances off. Great ball here by Iose. Law, Gordon Wild couldn't win the foot race.
Love it. Probing ball out of the reach of McIntosh. Turns the back line a little bit. You're hoping that you got a player that can just slash through and just get a touch on it. But a brilliant ball from Nicky Law right after a brilliant ball from Iose.
That was LaFleur that got there first. See if Timmer's going to give it a go there. Turn by Kofi. His skill set has been on display tonight for sure. Timmer sends it in, looking back post, and again, this a little more control that time, headed down towards McIntosh.
And a great decision, great decision. Arteaga is just off his shoulder.
Leon's Jankic that played that ball from Slovenia, 19 years of age. Told an additional 60 seconds will be added at the conclusion of half number one. And McIntosh going to buy a little time for his teammates here before he distributes this one towards the east end of the stadium. Kofi, another good win, and then Wild goes to the turf. Still time for one final attack here if you're the Indy 11. Fourth official and the graphic on your screen confirming one additional minute of play before we get to our halftime intermission. Backshaw sizing up his options. Goes to the ground and draws the whistle.
Here you go. If you're Indy, you're liking this. You throw everything in.
Yep, you can take some chances, throw some numbers forward. Indy told to restart a little further back than Nicky Law had been hoping to. It'll be Wild that'll send it in. We have passed our 1 minute time limit. Any action towards goal will carry on. Any action the other direction, you'll hear another whistle. Wild looking back post. Timmer able to keep it in. Punched away. It's got to be quick for Indy. That'll do it. Again, plenty of chances for the Indy 11. Given the fact it's the third match in 8 days, you like what you see from the Indy 11. It's just been a constant issue all year, finding that final moment in front of goal.
And that's what it is. You earn so many repossessions early on at the edge of the attacking third, and you settled for shots from 20, 25 yards out instead of looking at a little bit of interplay to get in there. And then when you did find those chances and that ball in back behind the back line or that slash to the box, the execution just wasn't there on the other end.
Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll take you a look around the USL Championship. Highlight stats and much, much more. 0-0 between Indy 11 and Sporting Kansas City 2 as you're watching on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Back at halftime at the mic, Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hunter with you on My Indy TV and ESPN+. 0-0 is our score at the break. We always start our halftime by taking a look at what is going on elsewhere in the USL Championship. We'll start with our team of the week and the veteran, Corey Hertzog. He has been playing in this level for a long, long time. Player of the week for San Diego Loyal. OKC Energy's CJ Cochran was on the team of the week as well. And Boluak and Yode, a player we know from days gone by, these days playing for Miami FC, all a part of the previous week's team of the week in the USL Championship. Now I look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. Tulsa FC is going streaking. A referee's decision helped that on Wednesday night, but they have now won 5 consecutive matches. I think all the precincts are reporting, with still 2 months left to go, Haji Berry's going to win the USL Golden Boot. Now the question is, Brad, can he catch Cameron Lancaster from 3 years ago? Cameron had 25 in the regular season in 2018. Haji's on 21 with 10 games left to play.
But look at the rate, 89.7 minutes per goal scored. He's averaging one a game, an actual physical game that he's playing while he's being keyed on.
3 years ago, he scored 17 for Sporting Kansas City 2. The guy is a professional goal scorer. The opposite of that would be what the Tampa Bay Rowdies are doing. Evan Lauro, Forrest Lasso, former Indy 11-man Connor Antley, our buddy Zach Steinberger down there as well. TBR has not allowed a goal in their last 6 matches, dating back a month ago against Red Bull 2. And speaking of Tampa Bay and Red Bull 2, they're still on the schneid, our Red Bull 2. Tampa Bay has a 1-goal advantage in that one. Other games of note in terms of the divisional foes: FC Tulsa, Birmingham Legion about to kick off. Memphis takes on Miami FC coming up at 8. OKC Energy plays host to Lou City. That game will take place tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, more halftime coverage, stats, highlights, and more when we return. Indy 11, Sporting Kansas City 2, 0-0 by Indy TV and ESPN+.
First-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Right-footed shot, and it's in! Knocked away. Looking for Para, could fall for an opportunity here. The shot comes in! Oh, it's brilliant!
I did get an interesting text from someone in the Phoenix organization talking about how big and physical that game was, and maybe they didn't necessarily know it was going to be just like that. I think they got a good taste. By the way, in case you're wondering, Forrest Lasso is competing for the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. Just wanted you to know. What you
so is Lee Cohen. He was part of that routine.
Bring it to me.
Forrest Lasso, the defender of the year, leaping over the ad boards and pirouetting his way toward the dugout.
Back at halftime here at Carroll Stadium, third of 4 straight Saturday nights of soccer here at the mic. Thanks for joining us on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus. The Colts junior cheerleaders having a performance at halftime. Of course, the Colts kick off their season tomorrow at Lucas Oil Stadium at 1 o'clock against the Seattle Seahawks. Thanks for joining us for this brand of football. Alongside Brad Hodder, Greg Rakestraw with you. We'll have highlights and stats and interim head coach Max Rogers coming up in a bit. But first, Coach Hodder's thoughts on half number 1. Your synopsis, what we saw in the first 45 minutes.
I think you've done a good job of making sure that Sporting Kansas City 2 has not had a volume of dangerous opportunities. You've created, through repossessions and through opportunities in the middle third, you've created some dynamic chances up front. Just that final touch, that final idea, that final thought hasn't been executed.
Well, we'll show you the highlights. They'll be joined by interim head coach Max Rogers in just a bit. Again, a lot of chances to show you and a few more shots from outside of the 18 tonight for the boys in blue.
Yeah, and early on, I thought they were non-dangerous in those opportunities, that they could have done a little bit more, and then they kind of found that rhythm of attacking wide and slotting balls through, and then they were a whole lot more dangerous.
Of those shots from distance, clearly the one that had the best opportunity was from the left foot of Gordon Wild.
Oh my goodness, what an opportunity here. He sets up the defender as a screen on McIntosh, bends a great ball. It's just a millimeter too high.
Misses that by an inch or two. The next best opportunity for the Indy 11, more of kind of what has been traditional for them this year. The build-up play where Reese Buckmaster had an opportunity back post and just took a wrong step, missed a wide open net that could have made this one 1-0.
What a ball from Nicky Law, and you got to think maybe Arteaga got a piece of it, or maybe Buckmaster thought he was going to take it, but that's got to be put away.
With that, let's go to the sidelines because Max Rogers kind enough to join us now. Max, you heard kind of our recap of the highlights. A lot of chances to talk about. Overall, your thoughts on half number 1.
Yeah, really good first half. Everything was the way that I wanted it to be in terms of how we pressed, how we created chances. Obviously, just couldn't finish those chances off, but positive. But nothing's done yet, and we obviously want to come and win the second half.
You did not look like a team that is playing a third time in 8 days with a lot of guys going full 90s the previous 2. You guys are on the front foot most of the first half. Can you keep that up in half number 2?
Yeah, that's a challenge. Obviously, we've got a good bench so we can bring fresh legs on, but the players are smart enough and to sort of press at the right moments and understand when not to go. So, I trust in those lads, and as I said, we've got guys on the bench that can come and help as well.
Max, thank you very much. Talk to you after the match.
Thanks, Greg. Cheers.
You got it. Max Rogers, again, the interim head coach of the Indy 11. We'll catch stats on the backside of this break. See some of those reserves that could be called on for the Indy 11 in half number 2. Scoreless here in downtown Indy. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. And by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Half number 2 just moments away from getting started. Scoreless here at Carroll Stadium between the Indy 11 and Sporting Kansas City 2. Just reminder, fans, get great deals and catch all the exciting action from an exclusive vantage point in the all-new Heineken deck, located at the northwest corner of Carroll Stadium. Tickets for the Heineken deck are just $15, include 3 other Heineken brands all game long. A limited number of tickets available for each game, so get yours today by visiting the tickets section of Indy11.com. or by calling 317-685-1100, or simply in person at the Carroll Stadium box office on game day. Thoughts of what Coach Rogers had to say just a few moments ago?
I think it matches what we were talking about in the first half, is that you've got players on maybe some tired legs, but you've got a high soccer IQ, and you got to rely on them to pick and choose when to go and when it's not a good opportunity. So they got to be efficient in how they're going to spend their energy, and the same with the ball. Keep the ball, spend more energy defending than you do attack. Keep the ball.
You would think that Nick Moon, when he enters maybe in the 25 or 30 minutes left to go range, is player down for Sporting Kansas City 2 as Gordon Wild made contact with Petr Kujic. That Moon would be sub number 1. Carl Haworth perhaps right after that, still building that match fitness, maybe 25-30 minutes from Carl tonight. Boubacar Sissoko as far as the midfield is concerned, and after that, the other 3 players that are on the bench have not appeared in a match for the Indy 11 this season from a field player standpoint. A defender, Aiden Liu, and then 2 academy young men, Aiden Torres and Icris Revelorio.
Well, I think when you're looking at changing the game, there are some guys that can change the game individually with their creativity and their pace. Gordon Wild is one, Nick Moon is the other. So I think definitely you're going to have to see him in this game if it continues to stay at this scoreline, because he can not only create for other people, he can create for himself. Some of the players on the field, high IQs, they can combine to create opportunities for themselves and teams, but those 2 have this unique creative flair where they can create for themselves, for their teammates, for the club, for the fans, for the Brickyard Battalion.
Caden Pierre plays that ball to Jankic. The first 50 minutes of the opening half dominated by the Indy 11. Chances were more balanced going in both directions. After that, and more numerous chances for the Indy 11. Law got clattered into by Jankic. Hopefully Nicky is all right. We've not seen a yellow given in tonight's match. We still won't at this point. More of a talking to against a lot of whistles, but nothing really card-worthy until this point.
And that was close. You got your forearm up right into the back of Nicky Law.
Wild will be prompted by our referee. Mushagalusa trying to buy a little extra time as well. Wild sends it in. Kofi. That's a return to earth, for he likes to play it back to a teammate. Thought he might try to blast that one out of the air. Iose trying to find Wild in a sliver of space. By the way, the portion of this match presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. The official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. That is quite the refreshing breeze we get to enjoy in tonight's match.
Holy smokes. Unreal how he can get out of those little areas where he's triple teamed.
Iose goes to ground. Official says play on, and counter opportunity here for SKC2. Pierre to Mushagalusa. Mushagalusa plays it across, but he had to get rid of that football just as it was hitting the byline, so not exactly a lot of traffic in front of Jordan Farr to go make that play. I know Jordan will be speaking after the match as part of Faith and Family Night, which it is here at Carroll Stadium this evening. Just a reminder, fans, Indy 11 Premium Suites are the perfect way to entertain your guests. Learn more at Indy11.com or call 317-685-1100. There aren't that many more opportunities to catch the boys in blue here at Carroll Stadium this season. Nothing but Saturday matches left. One against Tulsa, one against Atlanta United 2 against Lou City. Those home dates starting to dwindle down for the Indy 11. Final match of the season takes place in Memphis on October 30th. Kofi can control that one the way he had wanted to. Now Davis will lead the charge. Gutyar, a great job to slow him down.
And those are those transitional moments where Sporting KC2 can really punish Indy.
Timmer going to knock that ball back towards midfield. And this is not a night where, frankly, either team is playing for a point. And it is a long shot for Sporting Kansas City, too. They are 10 points out of the last playoff spot. After that, they have 7 matches left to play. Indy's got a little more time and a little more vicinity to the playoffs to work with, and Farr watches that one sail wide of the far post. But these are two teams that will be going for 3 until the final whistle. Our battalion in full song as per usual. They have been tremendous all year. They've been great since day one of this club, especially in the return season here to Carroll Stadium with somewhat reduced capacity. Opportunity here. Wild on the front foot. Leaves it for Nicky Law.
Tough. And here's where the game's going to open up. You know, Indy has to send the bodies forward when they have an opportunity, and that's going to leave them in these counter-attacking opportunities for Sporting KC2.
Pierre flying down the flank. Sends it in. One touch and not a second for Mushagalusa. Now Arteaga carving out some space. Excellent distribution of Nicky Law. Right back to Arteaga. Jankic in pursuit. Arteaga trying to cut it back. Well done by Jankic. And then they'll say that Arteaga slowed him down with an arm. And Manuel will have a conversation with our referee. English is his second language, but I get the feeling Manu understands exactly what the referee is telling him.
Manu knew what the referee was telling him before the referee even came over.
Manuel from Venezuela. Played all over the world. His first opportunity to play in North America here with the Indy 11 this season. And certainly hope that he is enjoying his time in Indy. We would love to see him back for year number 2 next year. Leading goal scorer was 7. Kofi goes to the ground. Again, no whistle there. Now Kuich.
What a ball.
Left edge, the 18. Timmer back defensively. Gets in the way. Corner coming for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Perfectly played by Timmer. He almost got baited into the early ball. They were looking to hopefully get Timmer wrong-footed and bend it in behind him. He didn't bite on it. Stayed in front and blocked any ball coming across.
A 5-year member of the Butler Bulldogs and 3-time team captain for head coach Paul Snape. Spent last year with Western Conference finalist Reno in his first professional season. Now playing much closer to home for the Michigan native. Christian Duke adds a man to the box late for Sporting Kansas City 2. Looking back post. Not sure Gutyar ever touched that ball, which is why Mushagalusa was so quick to pounce on it. Left foot doesn't get through, and clearly leaves a mark on Gershon Kofi. And with that, we will come check on Gershon. I get the feeling he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Just give him a moment or two.
Give it.
We are obligated to show you this to you one time and one time only.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
The replay you saw at home was just shown on the big board here, and the requisite reaction given by the thousands in attendance tonight.
You talked about Timmer being a 3-time captain at Butler. So here's one of the things that's difficult about that. One, you need to have leadership skill. You need to have that in your personality. But to be a good leader, you're going to step on toes at times, because leadership is not just telling people what they want to hear. Sometimes it's calling guys to task. So to get the opportunity to do it again means you walk that line very, very well. And do it a 3rd time, Rake? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Rake?
I'm not kidding you.
Okay, that's impressive.
I'm taking you seriously. So drop ball here. Again, Sporting Kansas City 2 clearly had the possession. And Pierre will play it back to his back line. Just a reminder, folks, watch Wish TV, your local news source. Find them online at wishtv.com. And coming at 10 o'clock on both Wish TV and My Indy TV. Be sure you catch the Wish TV news at 10. In each of the first 3 meetings by this time of the match, there was at least a goal, if not 2. It's not been for lack of effort from either of these 2 teams.
And you could see here in this little pocket, Iose, Nicky Law, and Arteaga applying a little bit of pressure just to see if they could win it, but not enough when it started to break that they were going to spend the energy to chase that opportunity more.
Iose in the midfield. And you would think subs could be coming here for Indy in the next 5 minutes or so. The read by Timmer. In Kobe not on the same page. Now Duke will launch this one forward, but ball kind of probably went the wrong direction. Thought that ball would go left side. Instead it went middle. That alleviated some of the problems for the Indy 11.
Yeah, I think Timmer had Buckmaster on his right shoulder at that time.
Fans for standing stats are the latest league news. Be sure to visit uslsoccer.com. Arteaga forces the errant distribution from Graham Smith. He thought Arteaga got a piece of that. Assistant referee says no. Possession retained by the Indy 11. Buckmaster eventually will find the feet of Gershon Kofi. It's 7 of the 8 teams in the Central Division playing over the course of the weekend. Only Atlanta United 2 having the weekend off. But it needs to be 3 here at home for Indy tonight. The only race they are concerned with right now, the fight for 4th. Just get in after missing the playoffs a year ago. And that will be a corner kick. Well done. That was impressive by Buckmaster.
But Buckmaster was able to get to it and earn the corner kick.
I didn't think there was anything he could do with this. Buckmaster plays it right off the forehead of Graham Smith. On the end away from the Brickyard Battalion. Gordon Wild about to deliver a ball inside of the 18. At the edge of the 6, Arteaga was the target, never got to it. Iose quickly will rifle that ball all the way back by request of Jordan Fall.
Yeah, and I think when you've got your back to your goal, you're chasing down a ball, you know the pressure's coming behind you, and you've got Hackshaw and we met and Timmer all up in the other box. The best thing to do is just hit that reset button.
Hackshaw on the front foot. Looking back post.
What a ball.
Wild. Arteaga was the closer runner. Wild appreciates the effort from Hackshaw. He'd like to have that one back. You see the potential substitutions for Sporting Kansas City too. O.J. Smith, Ropapa Menza, Zion Long, Jahan Rod, amongst those available for selection for Coach Nagamura tonight. Annie Barbier amongst that group too. Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, downtown Indianapolis. They're the official hotel partner of the Indy 11. Hyatt Place and Hyatt House. Experience comfort in downtown Indy. Guyar asks for contact, will not get it. Throw in coming for Sporting Kansas City too.
I tell you, Indy's finding a little bit of opportunity with the ball brought out to Hackshaw with the high back line that Sporting's playing, and he is dropping it just on the edge.
Last time these two teams got together, they played to a 1-1 draw. It's the only time in the series history there has been a draw between these two. Jankic, a little bit of a nudge to free himself from Nicky Law. And then an errant pass, that time from the back line of SKC2. Neither coach has used a substitution yet. So the full 5 at the disposal of both coaches. Again, I would think maybe 3, barring an injury, get used for the Indy 11. You've got 2 academy players. And you've got Aiden Liu, young man that's on loan from his team in Denmark. He is from the Chicago area. He has dressed in several matches this year. He has yet to play.
What a turn.
Yeah, absolutely. And a significant hold that the referee's trying to allow the advantage to be played, and he does.
Oh,
and with that, here is Ioze. Io gives it a go. McIntosh the block.
What a buildup. What a strike. What a save.
Throw in coming for Indy. And again, well officiated. Kofi had control of the situation in terms of the advantage being played, and McIntosh, you could say he is the man of the match at this point in time.
That is such a brilliant ball by Nicky Law. A tough one for Ioze to bring down in the dead run, and to do it as he did and set him up for a second touch that's just a missile to the far post, and McIntosh read it from the beginning.
McIntosh spent 4 years with Portland Timbers too. Last year a reserve for the New York Red Bulls. Wild trying to carve out space, goes to ground. Law gives it a left foot that took a deflection, which is why McIntosh scampered over to get it, or he would have given up a corner kick. And Wild's not going to get that call with his back to goal at the edge of the 18. Maybe on Wednesday night that call would have been made, but not in this game.
Well, I tell you though, he's so dangerous with his back to goal, just on that half turn firing a shot. He can make something out of that.
Poked away that time by Hackshaw. United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change, the United Against Racism campaign, please visit uslsoccer.com. A pair of substitutions are about to enter for Sporting Kansas City 2. O.J. Smith, a goal scorer last week, is one of them. And a foul being called against Gershon Kofi. And looks like a card is going to be shown against Kofi for contact away from the ball. LaFleur, the player, that is on the carpet.
Yeah, my eyes in real time said it was clean. It's going to be interesting to see this.
Trainer being waved on for Sporting Kansas City 2. Gershon protesting his innocence, but it's going to be a card shown his way regardless of what he has to say about the subject. Decide for yourself. Off arm got up a little bit high. Could potentially also be an audition for Broadway for LaFleur as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, you had an arm go to the back of Nicky Law's head a moment ago. that hit with more force.
Here's did Gershon have his arm up? Yes, but on the replay you saw LaFleur put his hands in an area where Gershon did not touch him. So both instances can be true. There can be a foul there. There can also be an embellishment there. Foul potentially card-worthy, probably not, but I see the point you're making.
Yep. And
probably time to start to reel this back in a little bit.
And I do see the point you're making. The Band-Aid needs to go on the actual wound.
Papa Mensah, by the way, is the other player that will be heading towards the fourth official momentarily. Papa, a player we know very well, spent 2 years in Nashville, last year in Pittsburgh. He has featured a great deal against the Indy 11 over the years. He's not played that much this year. It's just his 11th appearance of the season. You see the duo awaiting to enter when given the nod from the SKC2 bench. Timmer knocks it forward, but no teammate there to track it down. Tonight's match presented in part by the Denny Companies, a proud partner of the Indy 11. The Denny Companies tearing down the past so you can build the future.
Kofi has been solid tonight. Ball winner, playmaker.
I'm not sure if it's a reward or punishment. He may be earning his way into the postgame show conversation tonight. Opportunity here. Ball both just behind Mushagalusa. And there have not been many threatening moments, if any, in this half for Sporting Kansas City 2. The buildup was there, just not the final ball. Cisneros will exit as Mensah will replace him. Native of Ghana, playing in his 5th season in the USL Championship. And Jameel Roberts will exit as well. I've not talked much about Roberts here in half number 2, as Smith will replace him. How cool is that for Roberts, though, that you win a national championship in May and you're playing professional soccer a matter of weeks later?
What an amazing year. When you look at life memories, this, 2021 is going to be a pretty impressive one.
And Marshall turning themselves into a soccer power virtually overnight. Obviously, that result did not go the way the home fans here would have liked it to, given the fact that they beat Indiana in that championship game. Indiana played to a 1-1 draw with Akron last night.
Good read.
Kuich. First touch for Mensah. Goes sideways, throw in coming for the Indy 11. And real credit to Indy. They have not looked like a team that has been low on numbers over the last week. And having played a 3rd match in 8 days with travel involved midweek as well. Here's Timmer. Now Buckmaster. Timmer will switch the sides of the attack. Pierre. Ball deflected off of Ioze and up into the hands of Ioze. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent, helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com. Of course, we are seeing that take shape with the Indy 11. They had academy matches and competitions over the course of this summer. They have been strong believers in the academy program and signing players to academy contracts over each of the last 3 seasons. Carl Ouimet, again, he and Ropapa Mensah have been there and done that against one another over the course of the years. They've been frequent combatants since 2018.
What a touch.
Wild. Sizing up his options. Right-footed shot, and McIntosh is there yet again. Again, that is Wild's weaker side. Still quite the blast from Gordon Wild.
A great strike.
And he just missed glory by inches.
Yeah, and he can create it for himself, and that's one of the things where, he and Nick Moon are the guys that can do that, can break down, a line all by themselves.
I would think we are not far from seeing Nick Moon in this match.
I got to think.
Nick exited about minute 70 or 75 on Wednesday. And Nick is a guy that, again, as you so well put, doesn't need much help. It can be all 17 at times if need be, and that might be the way to go for the Indy 11. Foul called here against Sporting Kansas City 2. Good look at Nick Moon, Carl Haworth, Boubacar Sissoko behind them. Looking back post.
Serve.
Hackshaw got ahead to it. McIntosh able to elevate and get to it as well.
Wow, he got up there.
McIntosh has not played with the Major League Soccer club this year. Pulskamp, who we have seen in other matches against Indy, has. He spent time on both rosters and active on game day.
He got tired legs out there, just won the ball and gave it right back. Got to be able to maintain a little bit of possession. Take some of this off. I mean, you can't, there's still 20 plus minutes left in this match. You can't have to chase that ball and press the entire time.
And with that, Nick Moon is getting his game jersey on. Is about ready to enter the match. Kofi commits the foul. Of course, Kofi sitting on a yellow, has to be careful. Looks like Carl Haworth is about to join in as well. Veteran who made his season debut just a handful of matches ago for Indy. He's been limited to a substitute role so far this season.
They're getting him up to speed as fast as they possibly can.
And the team and Jordan Hamilton decided to go their separate ways a few days ago. Peter Lee Vossel yet to return from international duty. Part of Jamaica's World Cup qualifying roster over the last week. And how much fun was that second half on Wednesday night?
Brilliant.
We're staying up past midnight for, let's put it that way. Ball deflected off of Mushagalusa. Bet Rivers, the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11, bet with a winner. Andy Swift going over some last-minute plans for both Moon and Haworth. I'm not as technically detailed as Andy is, but I would assume, hey, the goals here go that direction. Opportunity for Gordon Wild. Wild trying to leave space for a teammate. Knocks it forward. Roger Smith got there first. Pass was intended for Buckmaster. And with that, opportunity here for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Yeah, this game's going to be back and forth these last 20. What a ball.
We met with the read.
It's going to be a fun and exciting end to this. It's an open game.
Arteaga off of Wild. Ball ricochets. Finds its way to Ioze, but SKC2 does enough. And is that Mushagalusa all the way back? Yes, it is. And now Mensah with an opportunity. Farr hits the retreat button. We met step for step. And plays it back to safety towards the Indy 11 bench. '99th appearance for a man that now has a new nickname, Beans. Bobby Edwards there to document the story over the course of Wednesday or Tuesday's trip to Tulsa. Here's Duke. Duke plays it across, and Ropapa Mensah would like to have that one back.
I think Duke would too. I think Duke's in.
So as you watch the replay, substitutions about to happen for the Indy 11. They are brought to us by Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Ioze has given his last for this match. Nick Moon will come in to replace him. Same for Reese Buckmaster. So fresh legs on both the wings for the Indy 11. And again, Moon and Howarth can both factor into the attack for Max Rogers and company.
Are you ready for your other Kansas City trivia question?
Fire away, my friend.
Kansas City in soccer. Okay, this was one of the most heralded college football coaches in the country. And then he was brought up by a pro soccer club in England to manage their side. Who is it?
I honestly don't know. Please inform me.
Ted Lasso.
Oh, you're
Jason
going AFC Richmond.
Sudeikis was born in Kansas City.
My apologies. I thought you meant like a real person.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't shatter the dreams of millions.
Davis. We'll get back to AFC Richmond coming up in a matter of moments.
Oh, good ball.
Kuich. He gives it a go and steers it wide left.
And you're starting to see some of the fatigue on the legs. Late to pressure for Indy 11. Actually, non-existent pressure. Kuich thought he was going to have to work for that shot. It was just one touch and he was open.
Now, I brought trivia to the table as well, as you'll take a look at this replay, but it actually pertains to the match in which we are broadcasting. So are you aware of the player on the field for Sporting Kansas City 2 that shares a collegiate alma mater of an Indy 11 legend? One of the players on the pitch for Sporting Kansas City 2 attended the same college program as one of the best players to ever play for the Indy 11.
So not current player.
Not a current player.
Okay.
He's now retired.
How many games do I have to get you the answer?
This one in about 15 or so minutes.
Okay.
Howarth, the target from Hackshaw. Howarth.
Oh, well done.
For Law, give and go. Carl Howarth, a blast!
Oh, my goodness. What a great buildup.
It's what you wanted to see from Carl. In his first 6 years as a pro with the Ottawa Fury, multiple-time team captain. Pretty much played every role but goalkeeper for that team over his 6 years. Brought in by Martin Running a season ago. Injury slowed him down a little bit last year. Played in 11 of 16 matches and again made his season debut at the end of August against Real Monarchs 2 weeks ago.
That's just the two guys on the same page painting an unbelievable picture.
Well, speaking of painting, the guy that had the best experience at the Bob Ross event a couple of weeks ago, Jeremiah Gutyar, with the sliding tackle. Howarth, a stiff arm that sends Jake Davis flying. And the build-up continues for Indy. Nicky Law.
Love it.
Distributes to Nick Moon. Moon plays it across. Wild a touch.
Yes.
And there it is! Indy 11 goal for Gordon Wild. Indy needs 3 points. They're in that position right now. Cue the smoke. And Indy has a 1-goal lead at minute number 77. While he will not factor in the assist, the difference that Carl Howarth has made in this match has been evident the last 3 minutes.
Absolutely. Just the combination play at the top of the box. But here's what Nick Moon brings. He can create this. He actually draws the double team, which pulls the cover away and pulls another guy out of the middle, which takes a little bit of space to create for Gordon Wild to turn and finish.
For Nick Moon, that is his 4th assist of the season. That matches him with Gordon Wild in terms of a team high. 3rd goal of the season for Gordon. 2nd against Sporting Kansas City 2. It's all of a sudden hazy in front of Jordan Farr. But it is a 1-goal lead for the Indy 11, and the playoff picture becomes a bit more clear. Foul against Gordon Wild as Christian Duke goes to the turf here at Carroll Stadium. Would you like the answer to the trivia question? Would you like some more time?
Let me think.
Okay.
Can you give me a hint?
Let's see if we can get to this by stoppage time, and no.
Did you watch the football game last night?
Which football
Tampa
game
and
last night?
Dallas.
Well, that was Thursday night. And yes, I watched bits and pieces of it. Today is Saturday.
Geez.
We often have Indy 11 games on Saturdays, and usually the NFL season starts on a Thursday. I know you're busy with coaching soccer and chickens and cows and stuff like that, but that was 48 hours ago, yes.
That's incredible. I just, noticed that Ed Hockley's son is an official in the NFL as well. I did not know it was genetic that they followed suit with each other.
That'd be Sean Hockley, by the way. Davis sends it in. Haworth steers it clear. Haworth shoulder to shoulder with Mushagalusa. That's a throw, not a corner.
You gotta love that. Coming in, selling himself out just to make sure that ball can't get driven across.
Mensah. Bubakar Sissoko about to enter for Indy. Mensah trying to create some space. Good looking ball across to Kuich. Kuich right at Jordan Farr.
Statement save by Jordan Farr right there.
And Farr has not had to do anything of the spectacular variety, but he has been his typical solid self tonight. Wild tracking that one down. He does come from a family of circus performers, so juggling with his feet is not a problem for Gordon Wild.
Incredible. Every touch is unpredictable. How do you defend Gordon Wild when he uses every part of his body?
And you can tell that Gordon, the tank, might be about on E for him again. He did not play the full match on Wednesday, but he has certainly given his all tonight. You would think Sissoko would be going into more of a midfielder role. He and Gershon Kofi almost have had a job share over the course of the last 2 or 3 months as a holding midfielder for this team.
Now, one of the things you saw in the last 10 to 15 minutes was a back and forth wide open game. Indy has to make sure this is where you need that tactical IQ. You got to break stride. You got to keep your shape right now. You got to run this lead out another 10 plus minutes.
Indy has a clean sheet against Sporting Kansas City 2 in this building from earlier this year. SKC2 found the back of the net 1 time each. And their 2 matches against Indy at Children's Mercy Park. Opportunity here. Pierre with the run going. Has plenty of teammates to his left. Mensah blasts it.
Whoa.
And didn't miss that one by much.
I'll tell you, that was almost the exact goal that Indy just scored, breaking down the wing, finding a guy top of the, right around the penalty stripe, turning and strike. But it's too easy for them to get from their box to Indy 11's box and generate a dangerous moment.
Mentor Insurance, a proud partner of the Indy 11. Mentor Insurance, everybody needs a mentor. And as referenced moments ago, oftentimes a switch is Sissoko for Kofi or the opposite direction. Once again brought to us by Jiffy Lube of Indiana. Kofi's been solid all year long. I'm not sure he's been better than he was tonight for the Indy 11.
This was a great performance.
Bubakar Sissoko, young man from the African nation of Mali. Spent his formative years in Canada, played Canadian collegiate soccer, and played last year for the Halifax Wanderers in the Canadian Premier League. Wild. Wide open right side, Nick Moon.
And look at the attention he draws.
Roger Smith trying to sweep the ball away from him. Yeah, Nick Moon is no longer a secret in this league.
What a touch.
Haworth with Mushagalusa giving chase. And Mushagalusa got that one cleanly. Well, you said this off the air. Let's repeat it now. I'm not sure we'll see him at this level for much longer. He is 21 years of age as Mushagalusa heads up. And he played community college soccer at Salt Lake Community College, which is also the alma mater and the only level of college soccer that was played by one of the leading goal scorers in the history of the Indy 11. Who would that be, Brad Hodder?
Justin Braun.
Thank you very much.
Holy smokes, I got it right.
Well, I threw you 2 softballs before you get it right.
I know.
I mean, we went bowling and I put pads in both of the alleys so you wouldn't hit a gutter ball. Congratulations.
That's a walk-off moment right there. Oh, too easy.
There's Mushagalusa with the left foot, and for as good as he has been tonight and all season long, that is a moment he would like to have back.
Hey, you look the tank for him has got to be empty. I mean, he's going against Hackshaw on every offensive possession, but we've seen him in these. I mean, the kid wants to win. We've seen him in these last 2 possessions going all the way back to his box to defend.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC, channel 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Maiola, Rodney Marsh, Brian Dunseth, Jason Davis, a cast of thousands. USL All Access every Tuesday. Mike Watson, Devin Kerr, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Sirius XM FC, channel 157, and the SXM app. Carl Haworth, he and Jake Davis, and that's a foul on Haworth, and then Davis not happy that Haworth was kind of wrapping him up. By the way, I hope folks have had a chance to listen to 9/11 in Sports, which has been Sirius XM's look back at the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. But Tony Maiola told a very emotional story. I really hadn't heard of this until the last few days. He was playing in Kansas City at the time when they were still the Wizards back then. They were in Peru when 9/11 happened. They were playing in a competition. I think Sporting Cristal is the team in Peru they were playing against. They played the next day. They played on September the 12th.
Wow.
Because they knew they couldn't get back to the States, and there was kind of a FIFA violation in terms of a forfeiture of money if you do not play an internationally scheduled match. And they told the story of kind of the angst they all felt about obviously being out of the country at that point in time, and then playing the day after 9/11 when sports, stopped for a week, if not longer. That is a great listen. Catch on the Sirius XM app if you haven't heard it on channel 157 just yet. Arteaga battles through Pierre. Wild. Now Sissoko in possession. Not a bad thing right now for Indy, nursing a 1-goal lead.
Well, there's no reason to make any run forward that's not going to, have a great reward attached to it. It's all about risk and reward right now, and you got to keep your shape.
Indy 11's been a part of several 1-0 games this year, trying to get a victory of that ilk as Wild goes to the turf. Again, I would assume this is the group that is going to finish the match for Indy, barring an injury. And no Siegrist, no Cochran, no Vassal at this point. The hope is that all 3 of those could be back as soon as next week. Siegrist and Cochran at the injury front. Vassal still it's a little hard to travel internationally than it has been in years gone by, given what we're going through these days. Here's Moon. Hackshaw was available, but Gutjahr plays it to Haworth instead.
And great as Hackshaw goes up, Gutjahr drops back into the left back spot just to make sure that their defensive integrity isn't compromised.
Sissoko with the tug. Hackshaw with a hip check. Foul given, and it's going to be a card on Neville Hackshaw. If it wasn't a card on Hackshaw, it was going to be one on Sissoko. That was clearly a tactical foul. When the first one didn't work, the second one did. But now a chance to throw numbers forward for Sporting Kansas City, too.
Right, and to get numbers back for Indy. And even though you got, some tired legs, this is a ball that you have to win. You've got to be first to it.
Again, a point is not the goal tonight for the Indy 11. They need 3. They're in that scenario right now. To the edge of the 18. And then swept away by Timmer. And Arteaga will get there first. Tried to find a teammate, and he did eventually. And that ball, best case scenario for the Indy 11. Play off the side and recreate the sands of the hourglass from the days of our lives before you throw the ball back in play. By the way, our final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of tonight's game is presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Zion Long sprinting towards the 4th official for Sporting Kansas City 2. Wild. And that's going to be a foul against Gordon Wild. Now he'll be shown a yellow card.
Yeah, I think these cards are coming now for time wasting. It's a tactical foul.
Christian Duke will be the player that will exit. The captain for Sporting Kansas City 2. And being the wily veteran he is in his 195th appearance in a USL Championship match, he goes the short way. He goes off to the side, waves the youngster in and long. Young man who is from Nigeria but grew up in Olathe, Kansas. 18 years of age, another academy product for Sporting Kansas City. Pressure applied by Wild. McIntosh distribution solid. Even if this match ends in 1-0 fashion, McIntosh tremendous tonight for Sporting Kansas City 2. That ball, Law plays it off of Davis.
It's brilliant, just veteran, lays up well on that bounce. Only thing he can do with it.
Coach Nagamura not happy about, I really think the last call. I think he was saying Davis was still in play. Conversation civil between coach and match referee. One more time, J.J. Belinsky, our referee tonight. Four minutes of added time for the Indy 11 and for Sporting Kansas City 2. Wild down behind the play. Play will continue on as SKC2 is chasing this game. We met.
Good touch.
The read to sweep it away from Ropapa Mensah. Wild back at full strength chasing this one down. And Smith. Smith, one of the players on a Sporting Kansas City deal, but he has spent virtually all of this season with the 2 side. Bushagalusa. At the edge of the 18. Roger Smith. Was there a deflection there? No. No touch. Goal kick coming for Jordan Farr. And Jordan will get started when prompted by the referee. Taking some time to pontificate, think about the message to deliver for Faith and Family Night.
Rehydrate.
If you're going to give the sermon, you got to think it through.
Right.
You just want to speak from the heart.
Absolutely.
Have a guided message. Farr in his 4th year with the Indy 11, but has played more this year than he has in the previous 3 seasons combined. Although, that being said, he is the leader in terms of wins as a goalkeeper in the postseason history of the Indy 11. Indy's won 3 postseason matches. Jordan in goal for 2 of them, including one in this field against Red Bulls 2 back in October of 2019. Smith lofts this one for the other end. Nick Moon will camp under it. Moon.
All right, you can live with that.
Real estate ball.
But him bringing it down off his chest and playing it with his feet buys a little bit more time for Indy 11. Makes Sporting have to defend a little bit longer.
And that will be a violation against Sporting Kansas City too. LaFleur inadvertently took that ball across the touchline. And with that, more time to waste for the Indy 11 than a card was shown for the reaction 2-set call against Sporting Kansas City 2. And a bit of a Bronx cheer from the Indy 11 crowd.
What does that mean?
Basically a cheer saying that, hey, that's 3 cards against the other team. 3 against our team, 1st against the other side. It's about time. Entertaining and educational is what we shoot for here on the broadcast.
Should be writing some of this stuff down.
I'm reminded sometimes I can be too multi-syllabic for my partner.
Very much so.
Well, I should have never agreed to play commentator bingo, but it is officially squeaky bum time for the Indy 11 with a 1-goal advantage with 30 or so seconds left to go. Ouimet couldn't get to it, but able to keep the Sporting Kansas City 2 player away from it. You and I thought we had our shot at glory, and the ball carried in a different direction.
And you just can't get pulled apart if you're Indy 11. You just got to make sure any kind of rotation, any ball movement has to go on the outside and can't be a penetrating, dangerous opportunity.
We are past the 4-minute mark. Nick Moon, offside flag goes up, and that's it. Yep. I think there's going to be, I think they'll be told to relaunch, but once that happens, basically this match will come to an end, because there's been nothing to slow down really this 4-minute window of time. Smoke starting to escape from the BYB. They'll shut that off momentarily. And that's it.
There you go.
On a night where the Indy 11 had to have all three, they got it. One moment of brilliance from Gordon Wild, set up by Nick Moon and Carl Haworth. Disappointing results in the previous 2 matches, but a win that puts them back in a playoff position as we hit the home stretch of the season.
You had to have it tonight. You love the way that they chased this game, pressed and created opportunities, and when they absolutely had to have the execution in the box, Nick Moon to Gordon Wild.
8th win of the season for the Indy 11, the 3rd that comes against Sporting Kansas City 2. For Gordon Wild, his 3rd goal of the season. You can easily say it was his most important. Moon, the assist, number 4 of the campaign for him. Efficient in his 20 minutes of action in tonight's match.
Great turn. Great turn.
Our final score tonight presented by Sherwin-Williams. More than 25 locations across Indianapolis. Your neighborhood paint store is always there to provide the perfect finish. For the Indy 11 tonight, felt like the perfect finish. Despite the best efforts of Kendall McIntosh in goal for Sporting Kansas City 2, Indy found a way to get it done. Stay tuned. Honda Postgame Show presented by Bet Rivers comes your way next on My Indy TV and ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
the BYB, and, well, frankly, everyone in attendance tonight goes home happy. Just one goal in the match, but it belonged to the home team. Gordon Wild, his third of the season, and it's going to be a fun edition of the Honda postgame show presented by Bet Rivers. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you. But now the most important member of this conversation joins us now. He's the interim head coach of the Indy 11, and Max Rogers. Coach, no matter how you get them at this time of year, they all feel good. Congratulations on a much-needed win.
No, yeah, it's great. We thoroughly deserved it. Probably should have scored more than one goal, but yeah, it was important to get the 3 points, and I thought the players did that, performed really well. We're professional, and yeah, it's a great feeling to get the 3 points at home.
Everybody that played in the match, all 14 players did their job tonight. But let's talk about the impact almost immediately that Carl Howarth and Nick Moon had on this match.
Yeah, the two of them were weapons from the bench, and that was the sort of plan. Certainly with Nick, we know how explosive he can be and how he can change a game. That's not to say the lads that were on the pitch weren't doing well, but that's why you have subs to come and impact and add what they've got. And obviously Carl as well is chomping at the bit to get back to sort of more minutes after his injury. So they were really good, and that's why you have a squad of players. And as I said, it's for them to come into the game and add something, not so much taking players out.
Massive win, massive 3 points tonight. I think, from fans to us to you guys in the locker room and on the training field, everybody knew that 3 points was so important tonight. Is that something that you discuss or either talk about in pregame or talk about in training, or is it just something that's known and you expect the players to manage it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we're obviously paid to win games of football. Sometimes it's out with your control, so you have to focus on the sort of process and getting a good performance and doing the right things, and then you have to not hope in a sense, but sometimes it is just out with your control. That's why everyone loves soccer so much. So we speak about that, and at this stage of the season it's about winning games of football no matter how you do it. Yeah, you want to be able to sort of play nice football and be entertaining, but if you have to sort of win it's about winning in any way possible, really, at times.
Yeah, I thought Kofi was exceptional tonight, not just defending and jamming things up before the back line, but he was great in transition and was a brilliant playmaker playing some balls out wide. Can you speak to his performance this evening?
Yeah, he was good, and to be honest, I think he and a few players weren't at the performance level required against Tulsa, so I would say Kofi and Hack in particular raised their game, and that's what we need from them. We need performances where players are 9 and 10 out of 10, not 6 and 7, and certainly Kofi was a 9 out of 10 for me today. I thought he was very good, and his experience is going to be valuable, in this stretch of games.
Before we let you go, after, again, a very busy week with 3 days of travel mixed in there with a midweek match on Wednesday, knowing you've now got 7 days to prepare for Lou City, just your thoughts on all the focus and energy going forward on squaring up against kind of the beasts of this league coming up on Saturday, a team you've had good results against this year.
Yeah, it's exciting. These are the big games that you want to be in as a coach and as a player, so there'll be no need to motivate the players for that. It's just obviously touching on points and how we can hurt them, obviously being aware of their strengths. So having a full week to prepare and being at home is good, and it's an exciting game to look forward to.
Sounds good, my friend. We'll let you go enjoy it. As always, Max, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Greg. Cheers.
You got it again. Max Rogers, interim head coach of the Indy 11, kind enough to join us in the post-game show, and one of the players that we spoke so highly of during the entirety of the broadcast, and with Coach Rogers as well, Gershon Kofi will be joining us next. Your thoughts on the role he's played for this team really all season long?
Well, I think it's been very, very consistent. You've had, when you look at this roster, there's been a couple of pockets of players that have just been consistent from every match that you've seen, and I thought Kofi was just exceptional tonight. I love the way he defended in front of the back three. I thought he was great in transition, and then throughout the playmaking, punching that ball out to Buckmaster and moving that ball through the midfield was just exceptional tonight.
Well, let's get to him on the sidelines now. Gershon Kofi joining us. Gershon, congratulations on the effort. We've been fans of yours all season long. Thought your play was absolutely stellar tonight. Just your thoughts about what you and your teammates accomplished to get the victory this evening.
First of all, I just want to thank God for the victory, and I'm proud of my team because we've been on a rocky season and we stick together. So I think the last game before this, we got a couple of chances, we couldn't take it. So I think we're just reaping the rewards of the hard work.
Gershon, again, this is a situation where you'd like to have a little more depth to give guys a bit more rotation when you got to play 3 matches in 8 days. You knew you're going a long way tonight and had to go a lot of minutes each of the last 2 matches. How are you feeling after the end of this one from a physical standpoint?
A little bit tired, but we go home, we take care of our bodies, we do the necessary stuff, recovery stuff, and we're back. I think we don't have a game till next weekend, so we have a little bit of time to rest.
So we see you getting forward on a lot of occasions, not just spraying the ball across the field, but occasionally hitting shots from just outside the box. How do you pick and choose